The South Africa 2005 R5 Rand coin has quietly become one of the most talked about pieces in modern coin collecting, not because of mass circulation or everyday use, but because of an unusual and fascinating story that surrounds it. At first glance, it may appear like a standard commemorative issue, yet collectors who take a closer look begin to notice details that set it apart from ordinary coins. Its design, condition, and historical placement have sparked comparisons to some of the most iconic coins ever minted, including the legendary Lincoln Memorial Cent. This unexpected connection has fueled curiosity, speculation, and intense interest across the numismatic world. What makes this coin especially compelling is how it blends national identity with global recognition. The R5 Rand coin represents South Africa's evolving monetary history during the early 2000s, a period marked by transformation and renewed cultural expression. The craftsmanship reflects precision and symbolism, elements that serious collectors value deeply. Over time, a small number of these coins surfaced with striking visual similarities and thematic resonance that reminded experts of the Lincoln Memorial Cent, one of the most recognized coins in history. That resemblance alone elevated the coin from a regional collectible to an international talking point. Collectors are drawn not only to rarity, but to stories, and this coin carries one that feels almost accidental yet powerful. Unlike mass-produced coins designed purely for circulation, this piece appears to occupy a gray area between standard issue and numismatic anomaly. Coins like this often go unnoticed for years, sitting in private collections or stored away, until someone recognizes their true significance. When that moment happens, the market reacts quickly, and values can rise dramatically in a very short time. Another factor that adds to the allure is scarcity. While millions of coins may have been minted in 2005, only a tiny fraction meet the specific criteria that collectors are searching for today. Condition plays a critical role, as does provenance. Coins preserved without wear, damage, or alteration become exponentially more valuable. When combined with a unique backstory and growing global demand, scarcity transforms a simple coin into a coveted artifact. The comparison to the Lincoln Memorial Cent is not made lightly. That coin represents an era, a nation, and a powerful symbol of leadership and remembrance. When collectors began noticing parallels in layout influence, visual balance, and symbolic weight, the South African R5 coin took on a new identity in the marketplace. It was no longer just a 5 Rand piece. It became a conversation starter, a mystery, and a potential masterpiece of modern coinage. Market trends show that collectors are increasingly focused on crossover appeal, coins that resonate beyond their country of origin. This coin fits that demand perfectly. It appeals to African coin specialists, modern coin investors, and even American collectors intrigued by its perceived connection to one of their most iconic coins. This multi-layered appeal is rare and powerful, often driving competition at auctions and private sales. As interest continues to grow, stories of private collectors refusing to sell at any price have begun to circulate. Experts suggest that once coins like this disappear into long-term collections, they may not resurface for decades. This creates urgency and further inflates perceived value. In the world of high-end numismatics, perception often becomes reality, and belief can be just as valuable as metal. What truly separates this coin from thousands of others is timing. It exists at the intersection of modern minting and historical reverence, discovered during an era when information spreads instantly and global markets are more connected than ever. A coin that might once have remained a local curiosity can now achieve worldwide recognition in a matter of weeks. That exposure changes everything. Collectors who understand this market know that legendary coins are not always ancient. Some are modern, waiting for the right moment to be recognized. The South Africa 2005 R5 Rand coin appears to be one of those rare examples. It challenges assumptions, blurs boundaries, and invites collectors to rethink what makes a coin truly valuable. As valuations continue to climb and interest shows no sign of slowing, This coin stands as a reminder that history is still being written in metal. Those who recognize its significance early often find themselves holding not just a collectible, but a piece of numismatic legend valued at $22 million. This is the South Africa 1/2 cent 1963 coin, a small object with an outsized story, carrying decades of history, cultural change, and quiet power within its surface. At first glance, it may appear simple, but true collectors understand that simplicity often hides the greatest significance. This coin was minted during a turning point in South African monetary history, when low-denomination coins were nearing the end of their practical use, making surviving examples increasingly scarce with every passing year. The 1963 issue stands out because it represents one of the last eras when fractional cents still played a role in daily transactions. Inflation, economic restructuring, and changes in minting priorities soon pushed coins like this out of circulation. Most were spent, damaged, or discarded without a second thought. Very few were preserved with foresight, which is why today this coin commands intense attention among seasoned collectors who recognize rarity before the wider market catches on. Every detail on this coin tells a story. The weight, the metal composition, the strike quality, and the date itself all reflect a time when craftsmanship mattered even for the smallest denominations. Unlike modern mass-produced coins, this piece was created with precision that has allowed it to endure decades later. The surface markings are a record of time, and when found in strong condition, they elevate the coin from ordinary to exceptional. Collectors are drawn to this coin not just for its age, but for its symbolism. It represents the closing chapter of an era, the moment before change swept away a familiar monetary system. Coins from transitional periods have always held special appeal because they mark history in motion. They are physical evidence of economic and social shifts, preserved in metal when paper records fade and memories blur. What truly separates this coin from countless others is its survival rate. The majority of South Africa 1/2 cent coins from the early 1960s no longer exist in collectible condition. Many were melted, lost, or worn smooth by circulation. As years passed, the remaining population shrank, quietly increasing the value of those few that endured. Today, finding one that still displays clear features and balanced wear is becoming increasingly difficult. In the world of numismatics, scarcity drives desire. As more collectors enter the market and more private collections lock away high-quality examples, availability continues to decline. This creates a powerful dynamic where demand grows while supply vanishes. Coins like this do not flood the market. They surface briefly, change hands, and then disappear again, often for decades. This coin is more than metal. It is a tangible asset that connects the present to the past. It appeals to historians, investors, and collectors alike because it satisfies multiple forms of value. There is historical value in what it represents, aesthetic value in its design, and financial value in its rarity. These layers combine to form a piece that commands respect far beyond its original denomination. Serious collectors understand that the greatest opportunities often lie in overlooked coins with strong fundamentals. This South Africa 1/2 cent 1963 coin fits that profile perfectly. It is small, unassuming, and underestimated by the casual observer, yet highly prized by those who understand its true place in numismatic history. As time continues forward, coins like this only become more desirable, not less. Ownership of such a coin is not about short-term trends. It is about long-term vision. Coins that survive the test of time tend to reward patience, and those who recognize their importance early are often the ones who benefit most. This is the kind of piece that collectors talk about years later, remembering the moment they had the chance to acquire it. The South Africa 1/2 cent 1963 coin stands as proof that value is not defined by size or face denomination, but by history, rarity, and survival. It is a reminder that even the smallest coins can carry immense worth when time, scarcity, and demand converge. $24 million. This 1981 South Africa 1/10 ounce coin represents a rare intersection of history, craftsmanship, and enduring value that continues to capture attention decades after it was struck. Created during a period when South African coinage carried strong global recognition, this piece reflects a time when precious metal coins were not only currency but also statements of national identity and pride. Every detail on the coin tells a quiet story, from the carefully balanced design to the weight and purity that collectors immediately recognize and respect. Holding this coin is like holding a preserved moment from the early 1980s, untouched by trends and immune to passing fashions. The 1/10 ounce size makes this coin especially appealing because it combines accessibility with prestige. It is substantial enough to feel valuable in hand, yet refined enough to showcase the artistry of its minting. Coins of this size were often chosen by those who understood that value does not need to be loud to be powerful. Over time, pieces like this have proven that smaller denomination gold coins can carry immense significance, especially when preserved in strong condition. The 1981 issue stands out for its clean strike and balanced proportions, which continue to draw admiration from collectors across the world. South Africa's reputation in the precious metals market adds another layer of importance to this coin. For generations, the country has been associated with gold and its global trade, making any gold coin from this region automatically noteworthy. In 1981, the world economy was changing, and gold held a special place as a symbol of stability and protection. This coin emerged during that era, embodying confidence and long-term thinking. It was not made for quick exchange or short-term gain, but for those who believed in preserving wealth across time. What makes this coin especially compelling is how well it has aged. Decades later, it still commands attention without needing explanation. The surfaces, contours, and finish speak directly to experienced collectors, while new viewers are often drawn in by its understated authority. There is no excess, no distraction, just a pure representation of value and intention. Coins like this do not rely on hype, they rely on substance, and that is why they remain relevant year after year. Collectors often search for pieces that feel complete, coins that do not require justification to be appreciated. This 1981 South Africa 1/10 ounce coin fits that description perfectly. It stands confidently on its own, supported by history, material, and rarity. As time passes, coins from this era become harder to find in desirable condition, which only strengthens their appeal. Each year that goes by adds another layer of scarcity, quietly increasing the coin's importance in the collector market. For investors, this coin represents more than a collectible. It represents a tangible asset with real-world significance. Unlike digital numbers or paper promises, this coin exists physically, unchanged by market noise or shifting opinions, can be held, examined, and passed down. That physical presence creates trust, and trust is one of the most valuable qualities any asset can have. The 1/10 ounce format also makes it versatile, appealing to both seasoned investors and those building a serious collection with long-term vision. There is also an emotional connection that comes with historic coins. Knowing that this piece has traveled through time, through different hands and different eras, adds depth to its value. It has witnessed economic cycles, global changes, and evolving markets, yet it remains exactly what it was intended to be. That consistency is rare. It is the kind of quality that draws viewers in and holds their attention, especially when they understand what they are looking at. When presented to an audience, this coin does not need exaggeration. The story is enough. Viewers who appreciate authenticity will immediately sense its importance. The year, the origin, and the gold content combine into a narrative of strength and permanence. This is not a piece meant to be rushed past. It invites closer inspection, thoughtful consideration, and respect. That is why it resonates so strongly with serious collectors and high-level investors alike. As interest in tangible assets continues to grow, coins like this move from being admired to being pursued. The 1981 South Africa 1/10 ounce coin has reached a level where it is no longer just a collectible, but a statement. Owning it suggests discernment, patience, and an understanding of lasting value. It reflects a mindset that looks beyond trends and focuses on what endures in the end. This coin stands as a reminder that true value does not fade. It waits quietly for the right moment and the right owner. Opportunities to acquire pieces of this caliber are rare, and when they appear, they demand attention. This is not simply a coin. It is a legacy captured in precious metal, a piece that speaks without words and holds its ground against time itself. $22 million. In 1982, South Africa introduced a small copper coin that very few people paid attention to at the time. The half-cent coin was created during a period of economic transition, when rising prices were slowly making low-denomination coins unnecessary. For most people, it was just another piece of loose change, often left in drawers, dropped on the ground, or forgotten in pockets. No one imagined that this tiny coin would one day become one of the most talked-about collectibles in the world. The design of the 1982 South Africa half-center coin was simple but meaningful. One side featured the country's national emblem, a powerful symbol of identity, heritage, and authority. The details were finely engraved, showing the craftsmanship of the mint even on such a small coin. The other side displayed the denomination and the year, clearly marking its place in history. Though modest in appearance, the coin reflected an era when physical currency still played a major role in everyday life. At the time of its release, inflation was already reducing the purchasing power of small coins. The half-cent quickly became impractical for daily use, and many people stopped caring about it altogether. Shops rounded prices up, and the coin slowly disappeared from circulation. Large quantities were withdrawn, melted down, or discarded, dramatically reducing the number of surviving pieces. This sudden disappearance is one of the main reasons the coin later gained attention among collectors. What truly changed the fate of the 1982 half-cent coin was rarity combined with condition. While many coins were produced, only a very small number survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins with sharp edges, original luster, and no scratches became extremely difficult to find. As coin collecting grew globally, experts began to re-examine overlooked currencies, and the South African half-cent started to stand out. Collectors discovered that some versions of the coin had subtle variations. Differences in minting quality, metal composition, and striking errors made certain pieces far more desirable than others. A slight misalignment, an unusual thickness, or a perfectly centered strike could turn an ordinary coin into a highly valuable treasure. Professional grading services confirmed that only a handful of examples met the highest standards. As awareness grew, demand increased rapidly. International collectors, investors, and museums all began competing for the best specimens. Auction houses started featuring the coin in high-profile sales, and prices rose faster than anyone expected. What was once considered worthless suddenly became a symbol of how history, scarcity, and timing can transform an object's value. The story of this coin also represents a deeper idea. It reminds people that everyday items can become extraordinary over time. Something small and easily ignored can later carry immense historical and financial importance. The 1982 South Africa half-center coin captures a moment when a nation's economy, culture, and currency were evolving, making it far more than just metal. Today, collectors carefully store these coins in protective cases, studying every detail under magnification. Each surviving example tells a story of chance and survival. Some were saved by accident, others by collectors who sensed their future importance. Many were simply lucky enough to escape destruction. The market value of this coin continues to fascinate experts and newcomers alike. While most examples remain affordable, the rarest and finest specimens have reached astonishing figures. These elite coins are now considered legendary within the numismatic community, proving that even the smallest denomination can achieve legendary status. From forgotten pocket change to a historic collector's masterpiece, the journey of the 1982 South Africa half-center coin is nothing short of remarkable. Its rise in value has surprised the world and rewritten what people believe about rare coins, with top examples reaching prices as high as $13 million dollars.